did a quick skim of it, but basically it's the big delivery companies there, like uh, FedEx,
UPS.
UPS, all those are going to partner up with these smaller stores and work with them at delivering product faster and basically get their name out there. And it's yeah, that's what they're doing. So Amazon has their own they're starting to create their own delivery company on the side there, because FedEx wasn't able to keep up and UPS wasn't being able to keep up with themselves or keep up with their deliveries. So then they created their own delivery that is kind of, tangent to the big delivery companies.
Mm-hmm.
But my only thought on it, and just kind of throwing it out there, is Amazon sells product and its secondary process is delivering the product. Whereas these other companies like FedEx and UPS and that, their primary function is to deliver product, not necessarily sell product. And it's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Which one is first? Which one controls it? Which one's pushing? Which one will win? And I think it's an interesting exercise in that way.
Yeah, well, especially because UPS in their last earnings report, like they are shipping a lot more packages now and their volumes are up, but their margins are way down because Amazon's just crushing them on price.
Oh, absolutely. And Amazon's offering more and more free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. And I think that that's a deciding factor with many people. I know when I click, is it free? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I'm okay with that. But once it says $6.95 delivery, I'm like, cancel.
And I think Amazon has a massive competitive advantage where they are trying, I think, to be an end-to-end. Like they want the small shop using the Amazon marketplace and using Amazon's distribution system.
Yes.
Which inevitably means that there's one client for the FedExes and UPSs of the world.
Well, and I think Amazon, they have a two-tier system where you can have a small shop and sell through them, or you can have them stock it and then sell. So they kind of get these two ecosystems kind of going on at the same time. Whereas I think FedEx and UPS will have a disadvantage because they really don't have a storage, stockpiling infrastructure, controlling inventory. At least I don't think so.
No. And increasingly, I think small businesses, it pays for them to actually have somebody else do that. Like Amazon is only charging you a couple bucks a month to store an item there.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's pretty cheap. If you could come up with an innovative idea, I don't know why you'd expend any energy trying to find a storefront when you can get the global market for pennies on the dollar. And have a whole system of advertising, marketing, and selling. I think it's the next 21st century way of approaching it. But I don't know how Walmart and that is going to approach this, because like Walmart, for example, they tried to break into the online and it didn't work out so well for them.
But I'm really intrigued by the Jet.com purchase, because I think that is Walmart's in. Is they're just going to become this aggregator. Because I think what Walmart really wants to compete in is retail arbitrage. So what people have been doing is, like, I shop my local stores, I find what is cheaper here than it's being sold on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I buy the shelf and then I ship it to Amazon. I sell it through Amazon and I take the difference in whatever my local market is. And so my understanding of the Jet.com purchase is what they can do is pull pricing data from all over the place and offer customized pricing based on the person in a much more intelligent way.
Well, then this is going to go more and more and more towards the idea of how cheap can you transport a product then from A to B? Because if you can sell it in one market cheaper than the other, I know this sounds way out there, but this is kind of like the black stock market or black trading or whatever they call it, where,
The dark pools.
The dark pool. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. Where you're buying, a share over here that's 0.00001%, cheaper cheaper, and then selling it where it's 0.000, but just by sheer volume. Is that kind of what you're kind of saying?
A little bit. I mean, right now the spreads are really good, but I think in a drone kind of world where all these Walmart stores now become really localized distribution hubs, and you can move stuff between stores really quickly, and does that become a competitive advantage for Walmart? Those kind of, instead of thinking it's a store like a retail front, yeah, that exists, but it's more of a local distribution hub. And you could be undercutting Amazon in their local markets because you can be really localized.
But if you're going to go more and more towards that, and you drop the kind of the card there of drones, could Walmart then just not reduce their square footage then from 20,000 square feet down to 5,000 square feet, just have 2 or 3 products on the shelf and just have a constant rotation so that basically your overhead or your fixed costs are reduced to very low?
That's a good question. Do you go with fewer products or do you go with more differentiation in what you can offer?
Well, I think
and that's our 5 minutes.
But the thing is, I don't think you could. You need to necessarily reduce the variety of the product. You just, instead of having 50 things on the shelf, you only have 2. And once one's pulled off, it sends off a GPS or an SMS message. Boom, next product's being dropped off an hour later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll let you have the last word.
It's very interesting. I'm going to have to do some more research on this.
Yeah, no kidding. You open the can of worms. I'm not even sure UPS is going to be around in 5 years.
I don't think so. Yeah. I think the delivery market it's in like an inflection point right now, because it's a driver sitting and driving a truck. I don't know about that anymore. It's that your biggest cost is fuel basically now.
Yeah.
So once you get to batteries and automation, why would you have something go along a set grid like a road when you can have it go through the air?
Yeah.
Shortest between 2 points.
Yeah. And you'll be able to transport individual products with the same efficiency that we're transporting truckloads of products now.
Yeah. It's the same in the factory too, in a much smaller scale, in a much smaller scale. It's like, I when I worked for Monarch, they were and this is like 10 years ago, so I would be curious where they are now, but they got this Indian company to write this web page up and all this, and there's hydraulic cylinders where the user can log in and then click on all the things they want. They want a 6-inch cylinder with a 12-inch stroke with a seal that's backup seal. You select all of it. Basically, you build it from what you want. And the idea is that would then get transferred over into design, which would then spit out the drawings automatically. You could do that in SolidWorks and Pro E. And then that would be reviewed quickly. And then you could pivot that over to manufacturing department, which would then automatically produce the CNC software or the programming language out. And it would then be pushed out to the line. And they expected the turnaround to be less than a week. So no longer were you doing batches of 25 hydraulic cylinders. They expect they can get down to 3 hydraulic cylinders in a production order and make money. There's, from a customer just going and ordering 3 hydraulic cylinders, it's pretty incredible from what you wanted.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah. Are we still recording this thing?
Yeah, it's still recording.
Oh my goodness. I could talk about this. I could talk about this stuff for hours and hours and hours. I find this stuff so fascinating.
Yeah, no kidding. But I'll stop recording. We can wave goodbye.